like to welcome everyone, all the SAS users out there. I'm Kirk Paul Lafler. I've been a long-time SAS user, 40 years now, and started using SAS in early 1979, working mostly with the base product at that time, some SAS Stat and SAS Graph, a little bit of SAS ETS. I'm classified as an application developer, programmer, data analyst. I like to play with messy data. I definitely teach. I'm an educator. I'm an author. I've written several books. Over the years, I've specialized mostly to leverage the power of the base product. So my specialties include many things in the base product, not only Proc Sql, but the data step and its powerful features. I also work with the data step hash object. I work with that to perform table lookup operations, to perform merge or join type of processes, and I even sort data from time to time just to see its capabilities with the hash object. I also use the hash object to do or emulate data transposes. Other topics, other areas that I enjoy working in, I enjoy working with Proc Report and the variety of procedures that SAS offers, not only in the base product, but many of its add-on products as well. The products and the applications I've had the opportunity to work with include dashboards. I develop my own static and drill down dashboards using the base product itself, which covers a lot of aspects of the SAS language. Obviously, to create a useful, meaningful dashboard, one has to go about making sure that all their data sources are accessible, at least in a read-only fashion. Also, after that, we want to make sure our data is clean. So I used a litany of various data cleaning functions and techniques to clean up the data whenever possible. And if any data needs to be brought together, I use traditional merges and or joins in SQL to do so. And for that, the type of data that gets a little messy when the keys are not as reliable or consistent, I might have to resort to fuzzy matching techniques in order to bring data together. So the dashboards encompass a lot of areas, and it's a good way to become familiar and to enforce your skill level in the base SAS software. Some of the areas that I've used in there, besides what I just mentioned, data access and data cleaning, I use a lot of the statistical graphics procedures, the SGplot, SGpanel, and SGscanner. I also take full advantage of the output delivery system, in particular ODS HTML and ODS Excel destination. Assuming that you have SAS 9.4, M4, or M5 maintenance releases, you can take full advantage of the ODS Excel destination and create some marvelous output and or reports for your dashboards. Other areas that I specialize in are develop tools using the macro language. I'm a big fan of the macro language for its ability to streamline code, to automate the process, and to hopefully reduce redundancy. So I encourage all users to learn and acquaint themselves and become masters of the base product itself and everything that base product offers. It's always difficult to just limit it to three, but if I were to emphasize three techniques, one would be to be always curious. As Dr. C said in the opening talk at SAS Global Forum 2018, in his opening speech, he said users should always be curious and have passion for everything they do. And I think any SAS user, any professional that wants to be really powerful and equipped to handle the demanding needs of data and computing capabilities has to have that passion and has to have that curiosity. Curiosity and passion will carry you a long ways. Once you have identified that and brought that curiosity and passion out, I think one of the best tools to help you learn and continue your journey is to download and use the free SAS University Edition software. It allows you to use the software through a virtualization process. And that virtualization process can be very handy because now you can access 5 very powerful products as part of this free SAS University software. And it consists of the base product and all of its power, SAS Stat, SAS IML, SAS Access for Windows, and SAS Studio, which is basically your user interface and editor. So SAS University Edition is something that I would recommend that all users download and use to learn the techniques, even techniques that your organization may not currently be using, just so you can hone your skills. There's so much power in the SAS software, and the ability to hone all and each of your skills requires a lot of time. So with that passion, with that curiosity, the University Edition will satisfy those 2 objectives. The third area is to be familiar with the SAS Support Communities. The SAS Communities offers a wealth of free content about examples, code examples, output, PDFs on your favorite documentation, your favorite procedures, your favorite constructs, whatever they might be. So try to access the SAS Communities. Where do you begin? That's a lot of places. But SAS Communities begins with support.sas.com. Support.sas.com is our technical support website for all SAS users. It's second to none when it comes to technical support websites. I think it's the very best in the world. It contains a wealth of free information, from code snippets to actual code techniques, free documentation, free videos, free training on the SAS essentials. It gives us the ability to link out to others with SAS search engines and to access content that's readily available to each and every one of us. And as I mentioned, it's free. So those tools, those 3 items, those 3 ingredients to become a powerful SAS professional, I think will definitely put you in the right framework and allow you to really enhance your career and attain the most out of it. And I've been working in this for 40 years, and there isn't a day that goes by that I don't have a curiosity or a passion to learn something new. So try to learn at least one new SAS technique, one new procedure, at least one every week. But if you can increase that to maybe 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 every week, you're going to find that you're going to become extremely valuable in the SAS community. And you're going to have a powerful set of tools that are going to enable you to have a true enjoyment in your profession. Well, once again, there's so many wonderful SAS procs. The procedures themselves are tools that I think all SAS users should become comfortable with. One of my favorites, I think it's probably my favorite, but at least it's in the top 3, is Proc Sql. The structured query language, or SAS SQL, is a wonderful way to access data, to begin manipulating your data structures through using views or create tables and other techniques, creating new columns using case expressions, embedded case expressions. You can begin customizing the way you work with the table or tables that are part of your database structure. It also gives you immense capabilities when it comes to analysis. It allows you to analyze your data a number of ways using summary functions or statistical functions, amongst other techniques. And data management. It gives us a host of different data management capabilities to allow our code to be scalable. One of the areas that I think users should become very familiar with, not just on a high level, but at as deep as possible, is the ability to understand how to scale your SQL code, to make it so that it performs as efficiently as possible. I've written extensively on this in my books. I've written on this extensively in many of my papers, which all the published papers can be accessed for free on lexjansen.com. And that's spelled LEXJANSEN.com. It contains over 30,000 published papers by authors that have presented since 1976, all the way to the current conferences at one or more of the international, regional, special interests, and even at the local levels. So I would encourage each one of you to look at some of these white papers that are out there by all the various authors. You'll gain an immense amount of understanding of how to use, how to truly leverage these Proc Sql as well as other procedures. And of course, Proc Sql can be integrated very nicely with output delivery system. So you can create quite nice looking output, whether it's HTML or whether it's PDF or RTF, or one of my favorites is using ODS Excel destination to create Excel or CSV files that can bring your output to life. And I use that often when I'm building dashboards as well. So Proc Sql is a wonderful tool that encompasses many aspects that we do day in and day out, all of our ETL activities, etc. It also gives us the ability to work with all the various relational databases that are out there using the SAS Access software for whatever database you have, whether it's Oracle or DB2 or Teradata or SQL Server or MySQL or one of the other flavors of databases out there. That's one of the virtues. SAS integrates very nicely with these relational databases. And I would encourage you to always take full capability of using SAS to communicate your data access needs to the host database, and then let the host do the bulk of the processing, the heavy lifting, so to speak. And then once that's done, then you can bring the results from that analysis or from that data summarization process from the host down to the SAS level, and then you can start analyzing it with one or more of your favorite procedures like Proc or one of the statistical procedures, so you can become more acquainted to your data and what your data is trying to tell you. A couple of other procedures that I absolutely love and must have. One is Proc Report. Proc Report is a wonderful reporting tool, one that gives you the ability to create summary as well as detail or hybrid reports, and I use it in conjunction often with output delivery system for various things like traffic lighting. If I need to emphasize certain values, whether they're cell or row or column values or totals, I can emphasize them using styles, using Proc format, along with Proc Report and with the ODS Excel destination to create some pretty cool looking Excel spreadsheets. And so Proc Report is a wonderful tool. And just so you know, you can create auto filters very nicely from using the ODS Excel destination, so you have an auto filter type of Excel spreadsheet, which is pretty slick in itself. And probably the third most important proc or series of procs, and it's very hard to come out with this because I have so many procs I use on a daily basis, but I really love the statistical graphic procedures, SGplot, SGscatter, and SGpanel. to me, because I do develop dashboards and scorecards and things like that for many clients in different industries, I will go ahead and take advantage of the capabilities of these base product statistical graphic procedures to develop some nice bar charts, pie charts, heat maps, histograms, and a multitude of different types of graphic images that I turn into PNGs or JPEGs, and then I use them in my dashboards. So those are some of my favorite procedures, and the good news is they're part of the base product. So leverage the base product, learn everything you can out of the base product, and you'll be well served for years to come. Remain curious, have passion with everything you do, and love what you do. And if you keep those three things in mind and practice it, not just talk it, but practice it, you'll never work a day in your life. Enjoy the journey, smell the roses or the plants or whatever along the journey, because it is magnificent, and enjoy it, and you'll be well served for the rest of your professional days. Thanks again, and I look forward to connecting with you on LinkedIn. I'm always interested in connecting with colleagues, SAS colleagues around the world. So please reach out to me. My name again is Kirk Paul Lafler. I can be easily found on LinkedIn. My Twitter name is SAS Nerd. So please, love to connect with SAS user. And if you ever attend a SAS conference or an event in the future, and if you see me, please stop and say hello. I'd love to meet all of you. Thank you.